Hey, welcome to my channel, guys. I'll be using the new HUDA Beauty Nude palette in this tutorial on my best friend Kia here. Okay, so I'll be using the Mercier hydrating oil. She has a little bit of a dry skin, so I'm just going to make sure that I prep her skin with something that's going to nourish and hydrate her face. So I'm starting with an eyeshadow primer. This is the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Primer, and I'm using that on her brows and her eyelids. So now I'm going in with my spoolie, just to get all the brows hairs in the right order. And now I'm using the Duo Brow Powder from Anastasia Beverly Hills in the color, I believe it's chocolate. I'll have all the products listed in the description box, so be sure to check that out, okay? So I'm carving out her brow. She has pretty full brows, so the powder is just going to darken her brow. Using the lighter shade in this Duo palette. I like to use the lighter shade at the front of the brow and the darker shade at the end of the brow, just to give the brow a nice natural gradient. Now I'm going in with the NARS concealer in the shade Chestnut to highlight under the brow area. Sorry, the concealer shade is Walnut, not Chestnut. Okay, so going in with the nude palette, I'm using the shade Bare, just to use as a base over the eye, and a flat brush. Then I'm going in with Spanked, and I'm using a crease brush from Sephora that will also be listed in the description box. So I'm going ham, like you want to pack this color on. The pigment, it does have a bit of fallout. I did notice that this palette does have a lot of fallout. I'm going in with Love Bite. So I'm going in with Love Bite also at the front of her eye, because I really want the center of the eyes to pop. Doing the same thing to both eyes, okay? I wanted to deepen the crease, and there's no eyeshadow on this palette that's really deep enough to really make the center of her eyes pop. So I did go in with a black eyeshadow. Okay, so I'm using a color that's not on the palette, and it's black. So I'm going in with a clean blending brush just to go ahead and blend everything together. I want my transition shades to be seamless. I should have actually done this first, but I'm using the concealer. I didn't even notice that this palette has a concealer, like a concealer. So I'm going over the center of her eyes with the concealer that is in the palette, and that's just going to help to create a larger center of the eye area. Now I'm going in with lace. I want lace to be on the center there, so I'm using a flat brush and applying lace right over where I placed that concealer. This shade is gorgeous. Like, the shimmers on this palette are really, really, really pretty. So I'm going in with Crave, and I'm using my finger because when I tried to use my brush, not enough product got onto my brush. So you want to use your fingers when you're using the shimmers on this palette. And sis is going off, like, oh, my key baby. Okay, so now I'm going back in with, what shade did I use? I'm going in with Lace, and I'm using that just on the sides. Had to get her together real quick. All right, so I'm going in with Lace again, and I'm using that around the perimeter of the color Crave. In with Daydream, and Daydream is more of a sparkle, so I wanted to just layer the colors and see how they looked when I layer them. I'm using Daydream as well on the inner corners of her eyes just to make the eyes pop. and open up. I'm going in with my e.l.f. eyeliner. You guys know I love liquid eyeliners, and she has beautiful chinky eyes, so it's really easy for me to do eyeliner on her, honestly. Like, I love using her as my muse because she's so daggone pretty. So now I'm applying lashes. These lashes are so gorgeous, and they're from Carla Marie Beauty. Carla Marie is actually a friend of mine, and I want you guys to just check out her website. She has some amazing lashes, as you can see, honey. Okay, so now I'm using this hydrating Makeup Forever primer. I use all products that's going to hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And now we're going to be using the new NARS foundation in the shade Macao. And I found this blue beauty blender from Sephora. It was just so pretty. I'm like, oh my gosh, a blue beauty blender. This is a full coverage foundation, as you guys can see. Just like, girl, perfect shade for her. So as you can see, it's a full coverage foundation. I'm now just going to use my blender just to take up any extra product. And I'm going in with the NARS concealer that we use to highlight the brow in the shade Walnut. I like to use the booty of the beauty blender just to get, you know, the sides. I'm going to use a brush just to blend out the nose contour. You don't want to use a beauty blender. It's just going to smear the concealer all over her nose. Girl, Sasha Buttercup. That is one of the goats of makeup, okay? Goats. Do you see that? Do you see that? All right, so I'm using the Sasha Buttercup wherever I highlighted on key here. Okay, so now I'm going in with the Black Radiance Setting Foundation Powder in the shade Dark. I'm using a nice fluffy brush just to set the liquid foundation. Okay, don't be shy, get up in there. So now I want to go in and contour her face. I'm actually using the Smashbox contouring kit in the shade Dark. I believe. Yes, I'm just using this to chisel out her face a little bit more. She has beautiful high cheekbones, and we want to accentuate that with the contour. A bit of the palette here just so you can see. It does have a contour shade, a blush shade, and somewhat of like a setting highlight shade. Being that the eye is pretty pink, I want to use my pink blush from my Lancome palette. Lancome sent me this blush, and it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. I haven't used a pink blush in a long time, so I was so happy to break out this palette on her. So now I'm going in again with the eyeshadow palette using the shade Love Bite under the eyes because we want a real sexy, sultry, seductive eye, okay? So we want to make sure the full eye is beat, 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 beat. Okay, and this eyeliner, this black eyeliner is also from Lancome Cosmetics. Okay, you know when your girl's looking good. She's starting to feel herself. She's feeling happy now. She's not cursing nobody out no more. For now, for now, for now, for now. Yeah, her face looks really good. She looks really pretty. Okay, girl, we see you. Now I'm going in with another gold, the Smashbox setting spray / primer water. And one of my favorite highlighting palettes is from Black Up. Girl, get your life. You see that highlight though? But do you see that highlight though? Okay, you see it. You see what I see. After I highlight, I go in with the beauty blender because sometimes it gets a little messy and I just want to clean it up and really have my highlight where I want my highlight. Feel me? Going in on her nose. Pretty much going to highlight the whole goddamn face, okay? So at this point, I'm just having fun. I like a really intense highlight, especially with bold eye looks like this. But you don't have to use as much highlight. You can be a lot more subtle than me. I'm really not subtle with highlight at all, okay? So now I'm going in with this really pretty lip gloss from Mented Cosmetics. They have really nice nude lip glosses for women of color. Okay, gonna snatch her gorgeous hair back into a ponytail, and she wanted to rock, you know, her ombre blonde unit. I really like this look. I really like this palette. I'm gonna do some more looks with this palette because I felt like, all the colors kind of really much were pretty much the same. So I'm gonna see what else I can do with this palette. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Follow me, thumbs up this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.